Hello, this is OTR Smalls again, back with another how-to video. Now, I get a lot of questions about the truck crashes. Why does the game crash when I add this truck, or why does the game crash when I do this or that? And the answer to that, guys, is 90% of the time you have a mod conflict, and there's a certain order in which your mods are supposed to sit in. Now, the way I'm going to show you has been a list that was given to me by a few different modders, and they all said the same thing. So this is the list I go by, and it's a fairly good list because when my game crashes, and that's something you guys have to understand, when you do mods, your game is going to crash. Don't think you're gonna add all these mods and play with mods and your game's never gonna crash, because that's just not practical. It's going to happen. Um, but when my game does crash, I know right where to go and how to go about fixing things. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to open up the game, and I just use my desktop. It's nothing major. I just open it from the desktop, and I hit that escape button to get that loud noise. I don't need to see the American Truck Simulator badge screaming in my ear. So then when you get to this page here, you want to go right here to your mod manager. And then over here, guys, is your active mods list. Now we're gonna go through this, and we're just gonna show you guys about how many mods I have active at any one time. And as you guys know, and here's the Mac R series. And this is perfect because I forgot to take this out. When you have this is going to be bad. Okay, if I were to run my game, this would have caused me issues. Um, so what you do is you just double click on that and you take that out. You fix that up. But as you guys can see, I am running a lot of trucks, a lot of skins. We're still in skins, by the way. Uh, and now trailers. I run a lot of trailers, guys. Look at all these trailers. Yeah, we're still in trailers. And then down here, obviously, the coast to coast map. Now, this is the one people have the biggest problem with, guys. This coast to coast map has to be uh, at the bottom. Now, it's supposed to go, and we're going to move it up one here. It's supposed to go right above your logos and stuff like that. Um, but that being said, this is going to be the list that I'm going to tell you on how mine go. And so before we get into that, say I add a truck, right? And then my game crashes. I know that my problem lies somewhere between this FLD 135X and the NEC W900 V2 Big Bob. Okay, so that's where your problem would lie if your game all of a sudden crashes when you add a truck. And sometimes it's just a matter of where that truck sits within this list of priorities within this list of trucks. Now you see I have the Outlaw fairly close to the bottom, and it should be the last truck, but the game still seems to work everything just fine with the Outlaw here. And as you guys can see right here, I do have the Viper installed. And the Viper needs to be at the very top of your trucks list, so it takes priority. So anyone who tells you that the Outlaw and the Viper cannot be run together in an active list, that's bullshit. It's just flat out bullshit, and then that tells me that their list is not in the proper priority and categorized correctly. Now, this over here, I just saw behind me. Um, I just saw this here. the Freightliner Classic XL, and this is from Jesse's Mods. You see how it says here? You see how it says that's a red dot there that says incompatible. So what that means, guys, is that the 1.36, the new update that dropped, this truck is not compatible with it. So if you try to use it, if we double click on it, it'll say mod is incompatible with the current game version. You cannot activate it. So that mod you cannot use. That's not a problem with the game. That mod needs updated at that point. So here we go, guys. We're going to start at the bottom. And I always start from the bottom because you literally build your list from the bottom up. So if you were to click on everything the right way, you would literally, because when you activate a mod, it just goes on top of, the next mod that's there. And we'll do this here real quick. I'll show you what I mean. So if you want to use, say accessory parts for SCS trucks, right? You double click on that, and you just see how it goes right on top of the Frosty mod we have, and so on and so forth, and that's how it'll do. So that's why I say start from the bottom up because it's a lot easier, and it's actually more quicker. So let's get started. At the very, very bottom of your list, guys, you want your logos. So your real company logos, the the WalMarts, the Staples, blah blah blah. All the logos you got going on, you want those at the very bottom. On top of that, you want your maps. So that would be your coast to coast. That would be your Canada, your Mexico. All those maps are next in line. And guys, if you're trying to run the Mexico, the Canada, the USA, within that category, it has to look like it does on an actual map or it won't work. So Canada being at the very top of a real map, Canada goes very top, and then the United States, and then Mexico. So that's a good way to do that when you're at using more than one map. It's got to look like it does on a real map, and it just won't work. So on top of maps, you want all your trailers. Now, there's no specific order, guys, to start your, a priority until there's something wrong there. So what I do is I just add all these trailers, and these trailers were added in this way, and no trailers have given me any issues. So I have not went and changed the order. Now, like I said, if I were to put in a new trailer mod, I tend to just put it at the bottom of, it would go somewhere around in here, and then if there's an issue, I'll move it up to about middle. If it gets a little bit better, but there's still an issue, I will just move it to the very top up here. But so there's your trailers. And then on top of your trailers, you want all your skins, trailer skins, truck skins. Um, so all those skins, and again, it holds that priority of, sometimes it needs to be higher up the list, sometimes not. It's just a matter of where it sits priority wise. Can mean the difference of it working correctly and then not working and possibly crashing your game. So as you can see, we have all those skins, and that's a lot of skins, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you, that's a lot of skins to have. And then on top of the skins, you want all your trucks. So all the trucks you're gonna run, guys. And this is usually the category where you're gonna have the most issues is your trucks. Like I said, the Viper has to be at the very top, the Outlaw at the bottom. This Freightliner Cascadia right here, for some reason, it's a middle of the pack type of mod. So it just all depends on where they sit. But so you got all your trucks on top of the skins, and then you want your wheel packs. So I use the Mayhem, the Smarties, the Vipers, Outlaws, Alcoas, Real Tires, all of that. And then on top of that, you want all your engines. And again, guys, I use a lot of engine mods here. These are still all engines. So there's all that. And then on top of that, you want your sounds, your Jake break sounds, your whatever sounds. Now, I have the Mortals parking brake sounds, and I can even move that up to right by the Jake break mod. But so that's where that comes in. So from where that is all your sounds, and then on top of that, you want your lights, and and that's why I have all my lights in this order. All my lights. So after that, you want miscellaneous game enhancements, and that's your Hemmel's Route Advisor. That's your no damage. The orange smoke and chrome for my Phantom truck. The Wilson livestock key so that the cattle hauler trailer works. Um, then there's the key for the step deck to make sure that it works. Now, there are exceptions to every rule. We know that. This here is the RTA Mods Peterbilt 359. And this mod is so sensitive that it literally has to be at the very, very top of everything. I mean, this truck says, I want you to look at me first, period. So that's why it sits where it sits. But usually this would be down into the trucks mod category, and but this one's just a little bit more sensitive than that. And then obviously I have um, on top of that, on top of the miscellaneous game enhancements, you finally want your garage skins. I have the frosty physics and stuff like that. I don't have a garage skin just yet, but excuse me, guys. I'm sorry, that was rude. So, with that being said, guys, that's what my mod list looks like. It's ridiculously huge. There's guaranteed 100 plus mods here. Probably in the vicinity of 120, 130 mods here, guys. So that is the best way that I've found to have my mods in a list of the way things can go, and in that way, you guys you can come back here and you can reference, what mods are where, the order of the categories, and that should be able to help you guys out a little bit in having your game not crash as much. So that is everything for this video. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, comments, leave them down in the comment section, guys. I will get back to them. But as for this video, you guys have a great rest of your night. Have a lot of fun. Remember to love one another, respect one another, guys. Peace.